Are you a book? Because I can't stop checking you out.
I love Valentine's Day. I think it's a really good opportunity to be extra kind and maybe extra brave. I also really love discount candy the day after Valentine's Day.
I'm okay with Valentine's Day. I feel like it's properly rated. It's just a day of bragging that like someone likes you. It's not really that relevant within the relationship because there shouldn't be a day in the middle of winter where you say you love each other. But to the rest of the world, it's like a little medal. You get to be smug about your relationship, which I'm okay with.
Valentine's Day, I think it's both overrated and amazing. I guess I'm just on both sides of the fence when it comes to Valentine's Day.
I like the aesthetic of Valentine's Day, like the pink and the red and the little hearts. I love all that. But I feel like it's a lot of pressure, especially as a teenager. I actually had a boyfriend break up with me the day after Valentine's Day. And so he was thinking about doing it the day before and just waited because of the holiday, which is the worst.
So logically speaking, Valentine's Day is really just a capitalist scam, but like, it's also kind of fun. So I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt and let's go with both.
Oh, I love Valentine's Day. It's like one of my favorite holidays, if not my favorite holiday. And like logically, I know that it's an artificial day designed to get me to spend money on things, but at the same time, it's a day that's all about romance and chocolate, which are two things that I love very much. So you know what? I'm a fan.
I don't like the pressure for all the hearts and flowers and lovey-dovey stuff, but I do think it's a great excuse to have candy and delicious food and be a little extra nice to each other during a time of year that's kind of cold and dreary.
Valentine's Day, I think, can be a day that is full of excitement and happiness, and if people are into it, it can feel like the whole world is celebrating with you, which is always a fun feeling. But if it doesn't feel that way for you, if it's like stress and disappointment and pressure, then I definitely say skip it. Feel free to skip it.
I don't care really about what people say about it being like corporate and whatever. I mean, it's a day dedicated to loving each other and maybe getting some kisses in. There's nothing wrong with that.
Valentine's Day, I do love it, but I also think it's overrated.
I do believe in love at first sight. Actually, the first time I ever hung out with my husband, we were at a party, I just knew. I actually told him that we were gonna get married, and I made him pinky swear that we were gonna get married, and he actually asked me out on a date after that craziness. And we've been married for almost 10 years now.
I don't believe in love at first sight. I believe in thinking someone's extremely hot at first sight.
I do believe in love at first sight. Falling in love immediately upon seeing somebody has definitely happened. I've seen it, and I think it's beautiful.
So I believe that when you first meet someone, you can know that one day you are going to love them. That's how I felt when I met David. I knew that he was going to be really important to me. So yeah, love at second sight.
I believe that two people can meet in like a charming circumstance and truly believe that they are in love. And like, I'm not gonna say that like it's empty or won't amount to anything. Like, it's totally possible that that'll one day be your one true love and everything will play out perfectly. But the idea that you meet and instantly are in like a perfect romance, I'm gonna pass on that.
I believe in attraction at first sight. I believe in curiosity at first sight. I do not believe in love at first sight.
Doing something knowingly cute would be my perfect way of spending Valentine's Day. It's a day to be a little corny, to be a little extra. No, you don't need to like show up with a rose, but yeah, it's the day where we get to show up with a rose.
My perfect way to spend Valentine's Day is away from the crowds, away from all the people and the restaurants, just at home with the people that I love.
My family and I, we actually always get a heart-shaped pizza. So I love that. Just something low-key, no restaurants or any big fancy dates. I don't really do that.
I think a very low-key, just like dinner and a movie maybe, preferably a pasta dinner, preferably with wine.
It doesn't have to be anything, you know, high key, high tone, fancy. Heels do not have to be involved. Reservations definitely do not have to be involved.
I have never been in a love triangle, and oh my god, who would want that? One is enough.
Absolutely not. No, no way.
I have never been in a love triangle, but I love reading them and watching them.
The year after I graduated from college, I met 2 guys in the same month. You know, randomly I started dating each one, and it wasn't serious, you know, just a couple of dates, and then each one started getting more and more serious until it was at the point where I just felt like I really should only be dating one of them. But I didn't tell either of them, and I just lived in constant fear that we would be walking somewhere on campus or in the town and the other one would see us. Luckily that never happened, and then I broke up with both of them and left the country.
Yes. Okay. I have been in a love triangle, and I do not recommend the experience. It was a long time ago, thank goodness, but it was still a mess of hurt feelings, and it was a mess of confusion and misunderstandings. Fun to read about, not so much fun to experience. Give love triangles in real life, I think, a hard pass.
Make me swoon are like this tiny romantic gestures that just remind you somebody is thinking about you. Somebody taking your hand when you cross the street, or somebody bringing you a blanket when you're cold, or making you a mug of tea. Those small, wonderful romantic gestures. I love them.
Leather jackets, punk bands, himbos. If you can combine me, a leather jacket, punk band playing himbo, swoon.
Confidence makes me swoon. You know, someone who knows what they're about and who they are and what they believe in. Also someone who can make me laugh hysterically without quite knowing why.
Intelligence. I love a good dry wit, like sharp, witty comments. I can't do that, and I find it extremely attractive and interesting.
In a bakery, maybe? Because then at least if we're gonna be stuck there, we'll have some snacks.
I want to be like snowed in a cabin in the wilderness. It's gonna be like blizzarding for the next week. We're not going anywhere. We got a fire in the fireplace. We're gonna make lots of tea. We're gonna make soup.
I've watched enough Grey's Anatomy to know probably an elevator. Or an on-call room, but something about the elevator just feels right.
Where would Henry Cavill be? Can I be stuck with him on the set of The Witcher? That's my answer. Stuck with Henry Cavill on the set of The Witcher.
I would be stuck in Tahiti with my crush forever. So stuck is relative. I would live there, Tahiti, forever.
No one's ever told me a pickup line before. I don't know if I should be offended by that.
Hey, did it hurt when you fell out of the vending machine? Because you a snack.
Oh gosh, you don't need pickup lines. No, I am putting an end to pickup lines. The sexiest thing that you can do in a first conversation with somebody that you like is just be a good active listener. Listen to the things they're saying and then ask a thoughtful follow-up question based on something they just said. A lot of people don't do this in conversation, and so that alone is really gonna make you stand out.
Oof, pickup lines are always terrible. They're always terrible. They're never not terrible.
Are you a book? Because I can't stop checking you out. Pickup lines are terrible. All of them, they're awful.
My ideal meet cute situation is actually how my husband and I met. We were in college and I was coming out of the bookstore and he was coming into the bookstore with a friend who I also knew. And so, yeah, we met outside of a bookstore, which is really on brand for me.
I think a party thrown by someone you know in common, because then you're like done with half the work of like meeting each other's friends And then you already have like champions, people who are like gonna be invested in a relationship, and they're gonna ask you, hey, so you and so are talking. What's up with that?
When I'm writing, I like something where like one of them is embarrassed, like something embarrassing happens to them, because it's fun to write and it's fun to read.
Any place where you have to be sincere and earnest after a play or a movie or book reading or something, you know, you're sitting around and you're talking about big questions and art.
The one that I had with my spouse, it was super cute, in a very YA rom-com sort of way. He went to a rival high school. He played basketball, and there was a tournament every year between the local teams. It was at this tournament when he and his team first came out of the locker room. And I remember looking up as he came out and like our eyes met. I was actually with somebody else at the time. He was sitting behind me, and I remember thinking, oh no. We're married now, so it's fine, but it was rough for a little bit after that meet cute. All of my friends hated him. They like him now.